Hey YouTube fans, it's me the Story Man, and welcome back to my latest video. Today I'm reading a story which I made from Chat GPT, which I call Mimi and the Living Sun. So remember folks, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and please leave a comment down in the comment section below. Remember, the story is made by Chat GPT, but the voice acting, dramatic flair! What else? Storytelling, narration, and ad-libbing were done by a real live human being, which I call myself the Story Man. Let's begin, shall we? Wow! As you can see, the weather has changed again. Yesterday was cold, now it's hot. Let us read, shall we? Let's see if this warms us up too. Long before anyone realized it, the sun has always been listening. It heard laughter drifting upward from playgrounds. It heard sailors singing to the sea. It heard the quiet wishes of lonely people staring into the dawn. Man, staring down must be beautiful. To see the sun rise. How nice that would be. But it never had understood a single word. It simply shone. Yeah, it's just the sun. It just goes light. I imagine when it becomes alive. In a tiny mountain village lived a 12-year-old girl named Mimi. She was endlessly curious. While other children collected dolls or marbles, Mimi collected questions. And these were the kind of questions she asked. Let's read. Why do flowers always turn toward the sun? Why do sunspots move? If stars are born, can they dream? Good point though. That's a good point though. We always have such an imagination. The adults just simply smile politely. The village adults did. The sun is just a ball of fire, they always answered. Fair point though, it is a ball of fire, but it's our star. The star that kept us warm for billions of years. Mimi wasn't convinced. Of course she's not. She has too much curiosity, especially if you're young. Your curiosity is quite strong. Every morning she climbed the tallest hill, carrying notebooks full of sketches, mirrors, prisms, old radio parts, and strange little inventions. She believed that light wasn't merely brightness. Light carried information. And that's what we call the internet. Light can be more than that, as we can already see it. We've seen many times light being used for other things like making neon signs. What else? Making a story. We use that, and it's been used by light, and we use that to do it. And how amazing is that? How clear it is. Clear as day. And what I'm doing right now, there's light in it too. As you can see, this video here has light as well. It has carried information, and I'm saying right now is carrying it to you. One afternoon, while experimenting with hundreds of tiny mirrors arranged in a perfect spiral, she accidentally created something no scientist had ever imagined. Instead of reflecting sunlight, the mirrors reflected thought. It cannot make thoughts alive. For just a fraction of a second, every beam struck the sun in precisely the right pattern. A language built from mathematics, music, memory, and emotion. Now that's impressive. A 1 in a million language, now that is impressive. Talk to the sun. I wonder if plants can be alive. Maybe they are, but no, can they have emotions? Maybe. Just maybe. Plants are not sentient, but they can be alive. They're just non-thinking ones. Across 93 million miles, something woke up. Ooh. The sun blinked like this. It blinked. I can imagine how that is, to see the sun blink. I can imagine they'll be surprised seeing the sun having eyeballs. Now with eyes. Of course not. Well, sorry. With awareness. For the first time in its 5 billion year existence, it understood the universe around it. Hello? The voice wasn't heard through ears. Every sunrise carried it. Every warm breeze whispered it. Every ray of sunshine gently asked, is someone there? Mimi nearly fell off the hill. She was surprised. The sun had responded. She said, "Yes, Newspapers called it impossible. Of course, this wouldn't stay secret for long. Scientists called it a hallucination. Religious leaders call it a miracle. Children simply waved at the morning sky, and every sunrise waved back. The newly awakened sun was kind. It slowed solar storms before they reached Earth. Wow. It gently warmed failing crops. It nudged dangerous asteroids away from the planet. It even painted spectacular sunsets simply because humans seemed to enjoy them. Wow, imagine our sun was alive to do that, but alas, ours is not like that. I don't know how we can make it alive, but we'll never know. Imagine a living sun. How cool is that? Join them. For what? The world experienced its greatest age of peace. Finally, peace was achieved. Unfortunately, someone else was listening. Of course, there are some people who want to misuse this power. And this person's name was Victor Harrow, a billionaire industrialist, a genius engineer, and a man who believed compassion was humanity's greatest weakness. When he learned the sun had become sentient, he always saw one thing: unlimited power. If it can think, he said, it can obey. He secretly built the Helios Crown, a colossal orbital machine designed to imprison the sun's consciousness inside an artificial network. He didn't intend to extinguish the sun, only enslave it. I'm afraid that could be bad. Imagine commanding daylight. People will have no light depending on who wants it. Imagine deciding which nations receive warmth. Imagine threatening entire continents with endless winter. Oh shoot. Governments would kneel, humanity would belong to him. The quote from a series I watched: if the sun falls in wrong hands, it could do great harm. Falls in wrong hands, it could do great harm. The sun can do great harm to innocence. I think that's it. Let me say it again. The sun can do great harm if it falls in wrong hands. That's the one. If people can weaponize the sun, then we're in a lot of trouble. The sun sensed the trap. I am afraid, he confessed to me during one golden sunrise. I have only just begun living. Mimi clenched her fist like this. You won't face it alone. Won't face him alone. Looks like Mimi knows who's trying to hurt him. No army could reach the Helios Crown. No missile could safely destroy it. One mistake would destabilize Earth's climate forever. If that would damage any way, our weather could be irreversibly damaged. And the weather here in our world is already bad as it is. We have climate change and it's getting hotter. And the weather's not normal anymore. It's pretty bad. Only someone who understood the language that had awakened the sun could stop the machine. Only Mimi. She was the one who discovered its language and made it alive. Only she could save it now. It's up to her. With help from scientists around the world, Mimi launched aboard the smallest spacecraft ever built for deep orbital repairs. It carried no weapons, only mirrors, thousands of them. It wants to talk to the sun before it's too late. Hopefully she can save it before it's too late. If the sun falls in evil hands, who knows what would happen. Victor Harrow greeted her through enormous holographic screens. So, the little girl who taught a star how to think. You've changed history, she did in a way. I intend to improve it. You mean control it, Mimi replied. For a point though, she doesn't want to improve it. He doesn't want to improve the sun, he wants to control it. Control is improvement. I don't think so. Maybe. I don't think control is an improvement. There is control, but it's like enslavement in a way. There has to be oversight, but not enslavement. There's a difference. Control can be improvement, but if it's too much, it's enslavement. The Helios Crown activated. Gigantic rings unfolded around the sun. Invisible chains of quantum light wrapped around its consciousness. The sunlight dimmed. Clouds formed. The oceans grew colder across Earth. People look upward in fear. The sun has been darkened. It's now in the controls of a madman. Not good. Mimi, sounds voice weakened. I don't want to disappear. You won't. She opened her tiny spacecraft's cargo bay. Out floated every mirror she ever built. Every prism, every notebook page, every experiment. Oh wow, she's letting out everything she did to make the sun alive. Each one carried fragments of the original language that had awakened the sun. Not commandments. Conversation, questions. Curiosity, friendship. The most important things that gave the sun life. The mirrors reflected those ideas back toward the sun. The Helios crown spoke in control. Mimi answered with understanding. She told him the beauties of helping humanity and how it can do great things if it did it for good. It can bring benefit to all of mankind. The sun remembered why it had chosen kindness. Mimi reminded her about that. She told her how it could help people and give people joy, happiness, and made people much more brighter. Its consciousness expanded beyond the machine's limits. No prison could contain a mind that was still growing. It just started. It's not going to die so easy. A mind just born is not going to be imprisoned so easy. Golden light flooded every circuit. I can imagine it would look like this. Like this. It'd be brightest outside. Very bright. It'd be blinding. I can imagine it'd be like that. And look at that. Our sun is turning bright. Looks like my story is helping the sun feel better. Not burning them, teaching them. The Helios crown suddenly understood compassion. It shut itself down by choice. It had gained sentience and it learned humanity all in an instant, thanks to a conversation. Victor stared in disbelief. I built perfection! Mimi replied, you built a cage. The sun chose freedom. Indeed. He did. Victor was defeated. The orbital station quietly powered off. Earth warmed again. Morning returned. Birds resumed singing. Flowers opened. Children laughed beneath bright skies. Indeed, as you can see, the sun out here is pretty bright now to me. Looks like my story helped made it feel better. Let's see how it ends. Years later, historians argued endlessly over how one child had saved the world. Some credited engineering. Some credited mathematics, some credited impossible luck. Mimi always smiled at the debate. The truth was much simpler. Machines can force obedience. Power can demand silence. But consciousness grows strongest when someone takes the time to say, hello. Every sunrise afterward carried a familiar greeting. Good morning, Mimi. Indeed. A conversation can help. If you learn how to be kind, you might get things you could never imagine. And somewhere on a quiet hilltop, no matter how old she became, Mimi always smiled and answered, good morning, my friend. The sun still shined on everyone equally, not because it must, but because long ago, a curious little girl taught what kindness means, taught it what kindness truly means. I can imagine our sun could be like that, as you can see. Let me see. It's become nice and bright again. Though it looks a little, I understand the camera doesn't give it that way, but from what I'm seeing, it looks pretty beautiful. And that's the story of Mimi and the Living Sun. I'll end it right here. This is the book, Story Man, signing out. I hope you like my story. It really makes people feel better. So remember, folks, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and please leave a comment down in the comment section below. Remember, hit that like button by liking this video down here. Subscribe to my channel by ringing the bell to notification right there and get daily updates from me and uploads. Comment down the comment section below what kind of story you want me to make, and I will make it. Any story you request to me, I'll do it, and it'll be for free. And I'll give it as much life I can even though it's made by Chat GPT, I'll give it as much life as possible as a human being can. If you do all that, this thumb will go to the end with a thumbs up. Remember, like, comment, subscribe equals a thumbs up from me to you. Remember, the story is made by Chat GPT, but the voice acting, dramatic flair, storytelling, narration, and ad-libbing are done by a real human being, which I call myself the Story Man. Thank you and goodbye. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.